For the African-American population, when Jackie Robinson breaks Major League Baseball's color barrier, it carried the same level of euphoria that we saw as a nation when Neil Armstrong walked on the moon. And of course, Buzz Aldrin also walked on the moon, and Buzz is the forgotten man. Larry Doby would sign with Cleveland literally just weeks after Jackie Robinson breaks the color barrier with the Brooklyn Dodgers, and Larry Doby is the forgotten man. Larry Doby went through just as much. Some may even argue even more than Jackie because he was playing in the American League. And the American League wasn't nearly as liberal as the National League. When he walked into the locker room with Cleveland, no one would shake his hand. When he stepped out on the field, no one wanted to warm up with him. Larry Doby was 23 years old, thrown into a powder keg of racism. Yet Larry Doby had the exact same pedigree that made Jackie the right one to be the first. College educated, had served in the Navy during World War II, was an outstanding baseball player for the Negro League's Newark Eagles. And it didn't take long. Larry Doby never played a day in the minor leagues. He went straight from the Newark Eagles over to Cleveland. And in 1948, he and the old man, Satchel Paige, helped Cleveland win the World Series.
The Cleveland Indians triumph over the Boston Braves in the 1948 World Series is all over.
Larry Doby digs in for the Eagles now. Down the line. And that lands in no man's land, a foul ball. That one to first. Leonard tosses to the pitcher covering the bag. And they get Doby for the out. And there's a ball.
When Larry Doby played football for Eastside High School in New Jersey, they had a game against Montclair High. You know who was on that Montclair team? The other second man on the moon, Buzz Aldrin.
Whoa. Drops into the glove. One away.
That high school game with Doby and Aldrin was actually at Hinchliffe Stadium, which was also one of the home stadiums for the New York Black Yankees. Doby played there in 1943 and went 2 for 5 with 2 doubles for Newark.
Base hit. So the go-ahead run is on base with a knock.
In 1946, the great Larry Doby had a tremendous season. He helped Newark win the Negro Leagues World Series. And during that season, he only hit .341, was named to the East-West All-Star Game, and finished 1 home run behind league leaders Josh Gibson and Johnny Davis.
Larry Doby steps in with a runner on and nobody out. High fly ball down the left field line. Makes the catch up against the wall in foul territory. Tagging at first, he breaks for second.
Larry Doby thought he'd be playing shortstop for Newark, but Hall of Fame player-manager Willie Wells had that position already, and he suggested to Larry that he was a more natural outfielder. You didn't argue with a guy whose nickname was Devil.
Drake back to work. Center field. Newman on the move. He's got it. And a quick out, number one.
During World War II, Doby played for the Great Lakes Naval Station's black baseball team, and he hit .348. They also had basketball and football teams, but only the football team was integrated. Hall of Famer Marion Motley was the star.
Throw stops the lead runner at second. 2 on and 2 out. That one ripped. That's back. Bang! Larry Doby steps in to take on Satchel. That one off the mark. Ball 1.
You know, Boog, Larry Doby thought of that 1946 Eagles team as one of the best he ever played on. Didn't hurt that he was teammates with 3 future Hall of Famers, Willie Wells, Leon Day, and Monty Irvin.
Brings it in. So Satchel wins this matchup with Doby. There was one more Hall of Famer on that 1946 Eagles team, Siggy. Manager Biz Mackey. He was 48 by then, but still played 10 games for the Eagles as a catcher. First pitch doesn't find the zone. And right back to the mound. On to first, 3rd out. Page back to work. Slow ground ball to the right side. O'Neill to first. Leadoff man retired in the 6th. The pitch. There's a swing and a drive. And that's going to kick into the corner. Can't get to it as it drops into the corner. Not in time. He's safe. Larry Doby steps in to take on Satchel. Swings and blasts one deep to left center. He dives, but he can't make the catch. Lead runner makes the turn at second. Lead runner holds at third. So 2 runners in scoring position and just 1 out. This one lifted in the air, left field. Makes the grab. So Satchel wins this matchup with Doby. This one swung on and hit well. Way back there. Gone. Doby takes Satchel deep.
Like a lot of players from the Negro Leagues, Larry Doby was an outstanding multi-sport athlete. He'd been a star basketball player at Long Island University, where he played under the assumed name of Larry Walker to protect his amateur status while he was playing for the Newark Eagles. Larry Doby would go on to become the first black to play in the American Basketball League, which would become the precursor to the National Basketball Association.
Larry Doby digging in now. Out into left center for a line drive base hit. Run scores easily, and it's 1-0. Throws to second, and he's in there. As they jump ahead, a run scores.
A young Larry Doby would recall his first game in the Negro Leagues against the Homestead Grays. Who was the catcher? The great Josh Gibson. Larry Doby gets into the batter's box. Gibson looks up at him and says, "Son, we're going to see how you handle a fastball." Larry Doby singled. Next time up, Gibson says, "Son, we're going to see how you handle a curveball." Larry Doby singled again. The next time up, Josh Gibson says, "We gonna see how you react when you get knocked down." They knocked him down. He gets up. He pops up. The next time up, they knock him down. But this time, he singles again. Your life was tough in the Negro Leagues. They were never afraid to knock you down. But Larry Doby was never afraid to get back up.
Larry Doby digs in now. He swings and hits a fly ball center field. Brings it in. Runner tagging from third. The throw is wild and it gets away. That's a laser base hit. Bates rounds third, headed for the plate. The relay, he'll score, and they've tied it. It's 2-2. In the air, left field, down the line, and that's a foul ball.
Larry Doby took a lot of pride in breaking barriers. He said he hit better in Washington and St. Louis because that's where the parks had segregated seating, so he could tell where the black fans were cheering him on from.
He takes it himself to the bag, and that'll do it. Drilled out towards left center field. That's well struck, and there's a hit. Runner comes in from second to score, and they cut the lead, and it's 9-3.
If you want an indication of why Larry Doby was the second man to walk on the moon, well, when he gets called up in 1947, he was only hitting .414. Over a decade-long major league career, 9-time All-Star, the first African-American to lead either league in home runs in 1952. He also led the league in runs scored that season. He would go on to become the second African-American to manage in Major League Baseball, only behind the great Frank Robinson. He would become the first to win both a Negro Leagues World Series and a Major League World Series, on his way into the National Baseball Hall of Fame.
That is historic moment as Larry Doby digs in for his Cleveland debut. Out to center, sizing this one up. He's got it, and that should get the job done as he tags from third. He's in to score on the sac fly. It's 5-2. One out, base is empty. Now it's the second baseman, Larry Doby. He was late there, strike one.
0-1.
Before Larry Doby played this game with Cleveland, none of his teammates would warm up with him. Then their second baseman, Hall of Famer Joe Gordon, did it himself, and that meant a lot to Doby. He said it showed something to their teammates.
Snyder hauls it in. One down. Here's the second baseman, Larry Doby. That one the other way. That's a base hit as a run scores. Lead runner around second. Will throw to third. He's in at second with a one-out double.
The legendary Jim Mudcat Grant, the first African-American pitcher to win 20 games in the American League. He was a roommate of Larry Doby when he was with Cleveland, and Mudcat was in awe of Larry Doby. And so as Mudcat would tell the story, he got to the hotel room before Larry Doby does, where he hears the key in the door, and there he is. And as Mudcat would describe Larry Doby to him, looked like a giant. He says to Mudcat, "You must be Mudcat." Mudcat says, "Yes, sir, Mr. Doby." He said, "Which bed would you like?" Mudcat says, "Yes, sir, Mr. Doby." He said, "Do you like to watch TV?" He says, "Yes, sir, Mr. Doby." And Larry Doby finally said, "Look, you got to stop with all this, yes, sir, Mr. Doby." And Mudcat says, "Yes, sir, Mr. Doby." The admiration, the respect that was held for this pioneering baseball player and what he meant to this sport was outstanding.
The star center fielder Larry Doby digging in for Cleveland now. Now this one's crushed down the line. Hooking, foul ball.
He's getting the barrel to the ball. He's just got to work on that timing a little bit.
2 outs. Out towards right center. That's well struck. And an automatic double as it hops the fence. And that's off the inside edge. 1-0. That's smashed towards center. Fox right there to make the grab. And that is that. Line drive. He's got it. And that is that.
Larry Doby roomed with 2 great black pitchers in Cleveland, Mudcat Grant and Satchel Paige. Well, sort of. He said, "Supposedly I roomed with Satch, but I really roomed with his luggage."
Throws to second. Not in time. He's safe. And a run comes in to score.
Larry Doby was Cleveland's top hitter and performed excellently on defense.
In a trailblazing career, Larry Doby is still the forgotten man. As I remind our guests here at the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum, Larry Doby too suffered tremendous indignities as he integrated with Cleveland in 1947. Again, just weeks after Jackie Robinson would break the color barrier.
Jackie Robinson leads off for Brooklyn.
Oh, it was challenging, but Larry Doby endured. And Larry Doby rose above the adversity. But I guess when I stop to think about it, Larry Doby had been very much prepared to rise above the adversity. After all, that's what the players in the Negro Leagues had done from the start. Larry Doby carried that spirit with him.
This is a great moment. All the struggles that I've gone through and other players of Afro-Americans, this is a reward for all of us.
It's never easy to be the first, but Larry Doby blazed a tremendous path that eventually led him into the National Baseball Hall of Fame. It is still hard to believe that it took until 1998 that Larry Doby would cross the threshold to become one amongst the immortals of this game. But I guess better late than never for this amazing pioneer and this amazing human being.
This is it, what? Lucini pouring from the sky, let's get rich, what? The G keep on sugar